This is just a legendary stretch of tarmac, lads and lasses. We've always wanted to have a Ricey Riders race on the Autobahn, and now it's happened. God, that's a mouthful. By the way, I hear some of you lot have been out this way before. Some of you as recently as last night. Just one word of advice. Mind you don't get pinched, because it'd be a shame to lose the car the day before the event. Talk about getting tackled at the 1 yard line. For now though, the race is completely legal. So give old Johnny Law the finger as you go by. Or maybe just smile and wave. Anyway, we've had quite the day of racing so far, so buckle up, because we got a lot more on deck this afternoon. I gotta say, lads and lasses, the Ricey Riders really know how to throw a proper party. That circuit's electric, and the Autobahn Polizia are cheering us on, for Christ's sake. Keep her straight out there, or else you're gonna be paying the Pied Piper, I'll tell you that for sure. The asphalt's sizzling, the beats are cranked, and catering just got back with a giant bottle of something that looks really good. None for you. You got a race to win. I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout to that driving legend, frontman of Raven West Motorsport, Nathan McKane. To any of you first years that might be a bit lost, let me clue you in. A wise old engineer once said, Raven West are in this event. Aim for third. Well, ya wee bairn. That might just be your best bet. Mondello Park, but a stone's throw away from home. I'm keen to see what you street racing types can make of this course. I got a tin of kipper snacks and a shot of Drambuie to contend with while you lot hit the pavement. Best of luck out there. No shame in it, lads and lasses. Oh, it happens to the best of us. Quite a damn sight different racing without police sirens, eh? No worries. Looks like they got all the debris off the track, and we're just about ready to get the Ricey Riders back out for another round of bumper cars. Cool! I think you could build a whole nother car with all that wreckage. That kind of carnage takes skill. Issue is mopping up all that oil. All hands on deck, I reckon, to tidy the place up, and we'll be back at it in no time. Oh, get a load of this! A whole weekend at the dockyards here in beautiful Tokyo. Steady on now. You might find yourself a cozy spot on a container ship bound for the States if you don't keep your wits about you. I'm just taking the piss, it's not that serious. Have a great time. Hey, how about a cheer for the Tokyo Metro PD? They've been a great help all day. Careful on the way out though. Roadblocks will be up quick after the race. Oh, speaking of which, I think we're just about to get right back to it. Right now. Would anyone happen to know why police helicopters were taking a lap above my hotel, about 3 AM this morning? Was someone having a cheeky go around the course after hours, Don't worry, I won't tell. Just let a guy get some rest tonight, eh? I will say, I'm pure impressed how well you lot are rising to the occasion here at Autopolis, given your tendency to take it to the streets. Get that practice in while you can. Some of these layouts can be a doozy. We got some proper grueling grudge matches playing out today, ladies and gents. Hardly a surprise. Plenty of these drivers have crossed paths on the streets before. They know the pain of handing over that Pinkslip. No ride swapping today to my knowledge, but just in case, just make sure your engine's as big as your mouth is, as we get ready to resume the next race. Some say, when he was given the Ferrari, he took it out to this venerated track and unlocked a flight mode that even mods to themselves weren't aware existed. All we know is, it's called the Stig. Lads and lasses, give it up for your favorite drivers and be sure to let them know you like what you see. This gorgeous drifter's paradise features kilometer after What the hell is a kilometer?
Oi, what are you up to?
You sodding munter! Piss off out of here!
I'm leaving.
I'll chib ya. Sorry about that, lads. I was just grabbing myself a refreshment. There we go. Cool, that's class. Monster Energy, eh? Give it a try, folks. There's like 50 vending machines around here. For some reason. Tire, rubber, and smoke far as the eye can see. Takes me back to the days we'd see the Drift King himself in his iconic Fiesta Gymkhana 3, rocketing around hairpins like they were nothing. Block still holds the record here at Abisu for the most consecutive wins. Head Hoonigan in charge indeed, my friend. Right, now we're waiting for the next round of drift battles to start, but the track is open. So have a gander, say hi to your favourite drivers. No guarantee they'll say anything back. But please, and I say this only half joking, don't challenge any of them to a race. Our schedule for this afternoon is absolutely packed. And you'll lose. I mean, don't these poor marshals have enough bumpers to pick up as it is? Loads of bragging rights up for grabs today as the drivers line up here at Mondello Park. But don't get cocky, all you 11:30 PM club racers out there. You can't win a race at the first corner, but you can sure as shite lose it. Lads and lasses, this is a track with Nathan McKane's name stamped all over it. Track time record held for 5 years and counting thanks to his 1000 brake horsepower Hennessy Viper Venom twin turbo, which, fun fact, is actually only legal in 49 out of the 50 US states. I'll autograph the t-shirt of whoever comes up with the correct state in the next 5 minutes. Contain your excitement, I know it's... Oh, the race is starting. Right. That was the biggest lineup we've ever had in an official Raven West event. I say official because those guys have been known to shut down a highway for their convoys. Imagine 70-something supercars buzzing cop cars while they try to close off all the lanes. No wonder I drink. Oof, well, if there was any time for a cold, refreshing drink, it'd be right now. 105 Fahrenheit, 40 C, in the shade today, here at Texas World Speedway, and these oddly addictive monsters are just hitting the spot. We'll be getting underway at high noon today, so in the meantime, keep those tires moving lest they melt into the tarmac. Raven West have really brought that Euro style to the Lone Star State today. That is something like 5,500 raw horsepower roaring down the front straight, as they're keen to do any moment now. You know, legally. At least this time they're keeping something on the straight and narrow. Blink and you'll miss it, motorsports fans. It's coming at you fast and I can't say that. No doubt, the Grip King will be looking to leave his mark on this speedway. I reckon another lap record is just a run or two away. But hey, whoever takes the podium in this next battle, you're hereby invited to a round of pints down the pub tonight with me and the rest of the Pepega Festival crew. But you gotta win. Because if you don't win the race, you can't have any Guinness! How can you have any Guinness if you don't win the race? I was talking to a driver at lunchtime today, and for obvious reasons I'm not going to mention his name, but it's his first Raven West race and he's always wanted to drive at Willow, so he's well excited for it. Although, he did tell me that the event probably isn't going to measure up to the street racing in his town. Man said back home, he lost 4 cars to the impound lot in a week. Really? That's terrible, I said. He came back with, got 3 of them by morning though. Allegedly, my guy, allegedly. I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone for coming out to beautiful Willow Springs today. I know traffic was, and is, probably going to be a nightmare getting out of here, but we greatly appreciate you coming out to get a look at these choice drivers. Now, if you should happen to spot Nathan McKane with his 1000 horsepower Hennessy Viper, I'm not saying you should snitch, but that car does not pass emissions in the state of California. What I am saying is, how funny would it be for that guy to fly in at 300 kilometers an hour and then get impounded because his tune puts out too much carbon monoxide? I'm not saying do it, but it would be funny, that's all. Let me ask you fine folk, who would you want to see race at Willow? Huh? Let me hear it, McKane, yep, absolutely. Speed King Kuru would put up quite the fight, definitely. What's that? Copeland? Who's that? That's not even a name! Copeland. Now this really is just mental, folks. We are here at Leipzig, walking distance from the Porsche factory, literally right over there. The Ricey Riders continue to impress with these fantastic events. Just incredible. Alright, someone out there is a far braver man, maybe a dumber man than I. Trying to sneak back into this place at night. What's next? Fort Knox? Also, word of advice. If stealth is your goal, maybe 86 the exhaust crackles and the cat delete. Just saying. Ugh, terrible news, lads and lasses. Not the racing. The racing is going great, I think. It's just that someone nicked all our drinks. The monster and the whiskey. Who could have... Hey, you! Yes, you! Yeah, twirling your shirt around like you're in the locker rooms at the Y. Yeah, this isn't MTV Spring Break. Chill out and give us back our drinks! What would your kids think? What the hell? If you can't beat them, join them. Let's go, Leipzig! Let's go! Let's go, Leipzig! Oh man, you're built different. Well, how's that one for you? One race in the books and a whole lot more to come this week. I see you out there, Nick Cooper, Mr. Street Race Extraordinaire. Good to see you about. Quite the bit of racing we're seeing out there today, and staring us square in the face, forcing us to take notice. Nick Cooper, getting down and dirty on the good side of the law, presumably nudging his way out from behind the shadow of his cousin, Ryan Cooper, one checkered flag at a time. Just one fierce battle after the next. Real magic out there, lads and lasses. Speaking of magic, keep an eye on that Nick Cooper. He's adapting fast and not waiting for anybody. I get the feeling we're going to be hearing a lot more from him very soon. Folks, it's been one hell of a weekend so far, and I for one am bloody pumped to see where we go from here. We got the quality gents from the Ricey Riders giving it their all, and I think some of the more experienced out of you lot are going to get something of a rude awakening here very shortly. Retirement's over, geezers. Look alive. There's new blood on the scene. It's really phenomenal. All this motorsport prowess in one place. Really impressive showing so far. We're seeing veterans of this course hone their skills, rookies get a feel for their groove, and then there's Nick Cooper. Something of an anomaly. He's got the racing blood, but that shitbox might make you think twice. All I can say right now is, don't sleep on him. I think he bites. No pressure, lads and lasses, but things are really heating up. No pressure though, like I said. Now, about our resident rookie turned hopeful hero, Nick Cooper. His street racing background is really shining through. It's gonna take some gumption to get to the top though, so keep the pedal pushed, the visor down, and go get that bread. To reiterate, no pressure. Interesting. Very interesting. Interesting is the only word I can think of to describe how interesting that race truly was. Far as grip driving goes, it doesn't get much better than this, lads and lasses. Goes to show you take the rubberneck aspect out of street racing, by Jesus, these racers can really throw it down. Big names all around, everybody getting into it like a Great Dane into an eye-level shepherd's pie. Speaking of which, Nick Cooper's looking hungry like the wolf, licking his chops, and chomping at the bit to get a taste of the king's blood. Guard your children, lads and lasses. Nick Cooper's race standings may be as shaky as a state fair roller coaster, but when he's in front, he lets you know it. Though he might have more rough finishes than a vertigo-stricken gymnast, he's a crowd pleaser first and foremost. Let's hear it for him, folks. The blocks at Ricey Riders really know how to serve up quite the steamer, ladies and gents, and they're showing no signs of stopping. Neither is that certified feckin' rapscallion Nick Cooper. He's getting his footing, so watch out or you might be next in his rear view mirror. Take no prisoners, comrades! Seriously, folks, they're trading paint out there like it's a marketplace. What goes around comes around, and it seems like that Forza fever is catching. What a show! Nick, my friend, you haven't got a Pinkslip on the line, but you sure as shit drive like it. Stop the blading. What do you know? Some more quality racing from this lineup yet again. Nick Cooper's practically gone from police pursuit to police escort as he glides his way to the podium. Just incredible. The best is yet to come, and babe, won't that be fine? Is that on? Sorry. Going great. Everything's going great. Best is yet to come. Keep it up. Oh, thank you. You know, it takes an event just like this to bring out the best in drivers. No better example than Nick Cooper. He's worn that Golf like a tailor-made suit, and it's paying dividends. If I had a nickel for every win Nick Cooper has managed to snag from this competition, I'd probably have enough change to go grab a biscotti from the snack machine down the hall. Too bad I don't, though. Crying shame. Nick Cooper is just a few wins away from taking the overall title. Legends in the making here, folks, mark my words. It's just win after glorious win for Nick Cooper, putting some top drivers to shame as he charges through the series. Legendary moves here at the festival. Ladies and gents, you're never gonna guess. I got Nick Cooper's mum on the phone with us today. Mrs. Cooper, I just want to say what an amazing show your son's putting on over here. You must be very proud.
Oh, well, yes, he's just the sweetest boy in the world.
I'm sorry, Miss Cooper. Could we get that one more time, please?
I was just saying how
Alright, we'll try and fix that. Bear with us. You come to the Pepega Street Festival, you come to see the Ricey Riders and Raven West and all other manner of spectacular racing, and isn't it just a cherry on top to see a racer fresh off the streets get to business on the track and make magic happen? That's what this is all about, ladies and gents. Plenty more coming at you this weekend. If Nick Cooper keeps up this tremendous streak, no doubt in my mind he'll get himself Epstein. I mean, he'll win the overall title, of course. Naturally. 1 podium is luck. 2 podiums is a pattern. 3 times is real business, but the amount of times Nick Cooper's found his way to the front is just astounding. Too legit to quit, this guy. I'm formulating a theory, lads and lasses. Please, let me know if it tracks. I think that Golf Nick Cooper's got is like a Back to the Future-esque time machine. It's like a DeLorean. Every time he starts a race and makes it to 88 miles per hour, I think he calculates the average lap times and travels to the same position at the end of the race. I mean, it's the only explanation. He's too goddamn good. I think we ought to have regs check for a flux capacitor. Oh, if this is how fast Nick Cooper goes when there's no cops behind him, just think about how fast he'd go if there were. Maybe that could be arranged. I think I speak for everyone when I say, is there no stopping Nick Cooper? The lad's on fire! Aim for second. That's all I gotta say. Aim for bloody second. Ladies and gents, if you're hearing this and your name isn't Nick Cooper, you are officially Nick Cooper's bitch. A small meeting was held and we basically came to the conclusion that if you're not Nick Cooper, you've probably already lost at whatever it was you're trying to do. So we ask now that you bury your person of all belongings and offer them as a sacrifice to the man who is objectively, scientifically, better than you, Mr. Nicholas Cooper. Thank you. It takes a special kind of talent to make a whole host of long-time racers look like toddlers pushing Tonka trucks along a car's rug. No offense to the rest of our fine competitors here, but if you plan to keep your rep in check, you're gonna need to speedrun right through the Power Wheels phase and get back to your actual vehicles. See, this is what happens when you judge a book by its cover. Except, rather than you just putting the book down and leaving the library, the book gets in its car, revs it to hell and back, and beats the ever-loving shit out of you until your face is as battered as your self-esteem. Can you smell the sweat coming off these other drivers? I don't want to use the word embarrassing, but, well, there it is. I used it, so there. This has become one for the history books, folks. Forrest Gump doesn't inspire me. Pursuit of Happiness doesn't inspire me. Good Will Hunting, School of Rock, Dead Poet Society doesn't inspire me. The Ballad of Rookie Nick Cooper, that fucking inspires me. Nathan McKane, consider yourself put on notice. Nick Cooper is calling you out. Isn't that right, Nicky? What? Oh, okay. Well, you haven't been officially called out, but you're still on notice that you may be called out sometime in the future. Either way, watch out. The demon is here, folks. That's a 2018 challenger out there. It can only belong to the one and only Richard Hammond of Team Top Gear. Goes to show that automobile manufacturers really are building their cars for everyone these days. Because I'm amazed that man can even see above the steering column. Hold on a tick. No way. Is that? No, it can't be. A Velside RX-7? And Han Lo? But you would... I saw you die! Right on screen with my own 2 eyes! This is... Oh, lads and lasses, I think I'm gonna need a brief lie down. Is that an open wheel racer out there? Jings, I didn't know we could have those here. All the more fitting for Lando Norris, I suppose. Keep an eye out for the young Belgian with the McLaren. Look who we've got. Theo Thomas, the Brit with the curly high top. BlackPanthaa himself, rolling in with his stylish Cooper S. With the Cooper Works badge, not a GP badge. Wouldn't want to get shot. Not gonna lie, would have loved to see Godzilla with him today, but nonetheless, glad to have him here. Birkay Yeet is making his way around the festival as well. Aside from apparently missing some textures today, gotta take a second to talk about this guy's impressive rap sheet. Listen to this. He already holds an associate's and bachelor's degree, but when he's not out here tearing up the track, he's working on his master's in English language teaching. He's a bit of a legend, is he not? Let's hear it for him. Supposedly, we were supposed to get an exclusive sit-down with Richard Hammond and Jimmy Broadbent. Those who'll recall, Hammond's car restoration business, The Smallest Cog, recently took a look at Jimmy's scuffed Mark IV Supra, and we were keen to get an update. Apparently he's been wrenching on it a bit. Unfortunately, sounds like Hammond is a bit stopped up with the police about a bolo matching his Challenger. Perhaps he should have dropped into a lower gear, or chosen the biggest cog. Somebody laugh, please. There he is. There's a reasonably sized star in an absurdly overpowered and overpriced car. Cool, that thing is riding low. Mind the curbs. Wouldn't want to flip the thing. Okay, well, we've just had Hammond in the booth, and delightful guy, really, a right pleasure to talk with. But he's brought the crew an interesting surprise. Some of you might be familiar, some of you might not, if you catch my drift. It's Pussy Energy Drink. It's a thing. It does exist. The can reads, love it or hate it, Pussy is a 100% British, 100% natural, and 100% outrageous energy drink. Wow. You know, I bet it would taste class with some Monster. I got a can right here. And with the two combined, Monster Pussy. Alright folks, I'm finally getting over the shock of seeing the Hun Lu kicking it with the living. I guess there was a fake death or something. It was Deckard Shaw, the Russians, and there was some guy called Nobody. I don't know, I probably should have watched past Tokyo Drift. Oops. You know, that Velside RX-7 is just proper gorgeous. Really a looker. And the great thing is, you can have one yourself for just a mere 17 grand American. Wait, hang on. Oh, that's just the body kit. Well, I reckon the car itself isn't too much more than that, given the mileage and the market. 85,000! What? Alright, new plan, ladies and gentlemen. To hell with the festival. This has just become the first annual physical Kickstarter called Help the kind, hard-working Scottish announcer lad get himself a Velside RX-7 just like Hans. Extravaganza, alright? So, I've got a big jar right in front of me up here at the booth, so just reach deep inside yourself and find your heart. And your wallet. Just a reminder, lads and lasses, Lando Norris is 23 years old. 23! What were you doing when you were 23? I was hosting this festival. I certainly wasn't driving a Formula 1 car, that's for damn sure. Lando Norris just showed me and the crew around his McLaren Formula 1 car. It's just a marvel of engineering, an obsessive need to manage every cubic millimeter of airflow and every millionth of a degree of heat. They actually put these bumps inside the face of the rim to increase the surface area, however slightly, and cool the brakes better. Consider my less than sober mind utterly blown. Don't mind me folks, just doing some maths here. I'm trying to figure out how many of our plebeian car engines it would take to match the same power as that single McLaren Formula 1. Then how many chassis you'd have to remove to match the power to weight ratio. Ugh, I'm not drunk enough for this. Holy smokes, lads and lasses! I just did a bit of due diligence and you won't believe what I found. BlackPanthaa himself has a collection of cars worth $150 million. Truly! I see them all right here in this garage tour he's posted. He's got at least 5 different multi-level garages, all across his town of residence, all filled to the brim with cars. And look at this! Now he's flying between the locations in his rocket-powered flying bike. Wait a second. Are my eyes failing me at the ripe old age of 23? Or is that Dominic Toretto walking onto the scene right now? No, no, that would be Theo Thomas wearing a bald cap and a wife beater. Nice cosplay, sir. I don't know why he did that, but if I had to guess, it was for the family. Tread lightly, lads. Theo's got his camera out. You wouldn't want to find your shenanigans on the next installment of Idiots in Cars for the whole world to point at and make fun of, would ya? Alright, we got some officials helping Berkay with his Corolla. I think you fellas need to have Counter-Strike installed somewhere. You might be able to find a free third-party texture pack somewhere online, but it's not gonna work without that. Hey, Berkay! I hate to bother you with something like this, but I gotta ask. You're a developer, right? Would it be possible to develop a way to stop this ice from watering down my drink so fast? I'm getting less and less scotch per sip by the minute. Is there some kind of solution you could develop? I'd really appreciate that. While they work on putting the paint back on Berkay's AE86, I'm taking the liberty of browsing his impressive list of achievements and skills. It says here he's proficient in C++. Can he say for sure what that is? All I know is, all throughout grade school, I was proficient in C++. Hence why I shout into a microphone for a living. Lads and lasses, here we've got a team that needs no introduction, but it's my job to give them one, so here it is anyway. It's Raven West Motorsport, a team of experienced and dependable drivers not to be underestimated. Simply put, folks, if there was a team founded and forged to drive the fear of God into you, this is it. A kind, casual, not at all fear-motivated hello to the Raven West team. We're glad to have you here today. And I'm not just saying that because the collective power of your cars could swallow me and my next of kin whole. Guess who's here, folks? As if you couldn't hear him coming from 5 kilometers away, it's the Raven West Motorsport team. To any of you hoping to get the jump on these fellas, you'd best keep in mind many of their teams special in endurance, so best to hit that treadmill then, eh? Straight out of the impound lot, no doubt. The Raven Sport team... the Raven West Motorsport team, of course. Please, fellas, don't take offense. I didn't mean anything by it. Don't wreck my car, it's just a Buick. We're in for a real show. The Raven West Motorsport team has just pulled into the festival. Give them all a fine, friendly hello. They're well trained in every discipline, from tuner to Le Mans to open wheel. So if you thought you had a snowball's chance in hell, here they are to dispatch with that misconception straight away. Oh, I got a shiver up my spine just then. Is that Team Pepega? In the flesh? By Jesus, that it is. Go on, give these guys a hand, lads and lasses. This is going to be some grade A racing for sure. You know, there's no shame in losing to Team Pepega. These guys really are the best. Long nights spent learning the track, every apex, every elevation change, right on down to the last minute detail. That's dedication right there. Team Pepega's got quite the lineup of cars coming into the festival, ladies and gents. I'd call it tasteful, reserved, but ready to pounce when that start horn blares. Don't sleep on these fellas. I get the feeling they know this event like the back of their collective hand. Jeez, compensating for much? Looky here! The Top Gear trio are pulling up in, I'd call it the automotive equivalent of a giant tub of creatine powder. We've got James in the Camaro ZL1, Hammond in his Challenger SRT Demon, and Clarkson sporting up the rear for once in his Stang. Without a doubt, these rides are not natty, whatsoever. Well, I can't quite see them, but I can certainly hear them behind the booth. That's the unmistakable sound of about half a bajillion foot-pounds of torque. It's the Top Gear team, May, Hammond and Clarkson, pulling up to give us a sneak peek at their drag strip darlings. You know, as the Top Gear trio ride into the festival, I was going to make a cheeky joke, something about, oh, look at this, it's the grandfather tour, or whatever, but genuinely, it's great to see these guys still kicking and showing up for the fans. Let's just keep a chiropractor nearby in case Clarkson's neck goes out again. No, lads and lasses, you're not imagining things. That tire screeching and burning rubber is as real as can be. The Monster Energy team is tearing it up as they make their way into the festival, and that can only mean one thing: a steady flow of refreshments and corporate swag, but also a steady flow of sick drifting wild enough to rival a Switch joystick, so stay tuned for this gang's wild antics. Folks, when these JDM powerhouses come screaming in, you know you're in for a real treat. The Monster Energy team is here, and they'd well and truly like you to know it. What they lack in rear tire tread, they far and away make up for in agility and deadpan focus on technique. And win or lose, they put on a hell of a show. The temperature's rising here at the festival, especially with Ken Block's boys turning up. It's always a sight to behold when these 2 or 3 ton beasts launch into a corner and become as light as a feather. Pro tip, when you're scoping out a spectator spot, look for a tight hairpin and plop down just at the outside of the turn's entrance. Front row seat that. Keep your hands to yourself when they swing it out wide though, unless you want to lose a finger. Raven West Motorsport have arrived. They will race you and you're going to die. And if you lose, they will smash your car, they'll punch you very hard and steal all your money and leave, allegedly. If you beat them and win the race, they'll still punch you in the face. The goal cannot be believed. I wrote that myself. Interesting choice by the Raven West team, painting their cars to look as evil and menacing as possible. They're great looking rides, don't get me wrong, but the whole dystopian 1984 Big Brother ink-sock colour scheme is not lost on me. Nonetheless, welcome to the festival. 2 + 2 = 5. Ladies and gents, it looks like the Raven West team has decided to take it to the legal side of racing for once, and my word, those cars are snappy. Of course, from this distance they all kinda just look like a big blur of grey and black with the occasional red sticking out. But that might just be my bespectacled perspective playing light tricks. Show yourself, Raven West. I wanna see you! Blink, and you might miss these spade demons roaring into the festival. It's the hot shot, folks, and for any of those who don't know, their goal is an admirably simple one. Go forward, and fast. Pure fast. So goddamn fast that the sound of the police sirens can't even catch up with you. If it's fast you need, glue your ogles to this lot. You lot know I don't need an excuse to throw back some fireball, but by God if this isn't the perfect time. It's the hot shots, lads and lasses. So all you non-designated drivers out there, come grab a shot of this proper hot stuff, on the house. And like everything these guys do, let's make it fast. As the hot shots pull into the festival one by one, I just want to observe a moment of silence for all the money some companies wasted plastering their stickers on these cars. Because in just a few moments time, not a soul in this place is going to be able to make them out as they go flying past at 300 km/h. Rest in peace, your money. No big surprise here, but Nick Cooper is out there today. Oh, I've just been reminded, Nick Cooper is getting ready to drive today. Well, what do you know? Nick Cooper is here today. And Nick Cooper was just looking marvellous in practice earlier today. Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. That's Nick Cooper out there too. Ouch, that's a real shame for Nick Cooper. Things have certainly taken a turn for the worse for Nick Cooper. Ish, I don't think that's going to be to Nick Cooper's liking. Well, there's that. Not going well for Nick Cooper at all. Quite the nasty turn of events for Nick Cooper, eh? Wow, he's taken delivery of a brand new car today. She looks absolutely gorgeous, anxious to see what he can do in that. Looks like he's just made something of a purchase. Quite the surprise. Can't wait to see that beauty in action. Quite the powerhouse, that NSX. I think he's trying to make us jealous. It's working. That NSX fits him like a glove. And so do his gloves. Looking slick out there. Now this isn't your granddad's Audi. Well, if it is, your granddad's pretty baller, if I'm honest. Check out that brand new S3. German hot hatches at their finest. Practical too. A4, S4, V8 RS4. Now that's what I'm talking about. Lot depreciation's done, hard part's over. Now he's got himself one hell of a snazzy Audi. He's got a brand new M3 in his hands. Let's see how he runs it. Man, that is gorgeous. The E92 really is Munich's finest. He's in a new M Coupe. Interesting profile on that one, but I'm certainly a fan. That M Coupe's got bold curves and performance to match. 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. Look at that Z06, just stunning. 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. You'll never be late to Cars and Coffee. Why import a Scuderia or an Enzo when you could just grab one of these Corvettes for half the price? That is truly a bargain bin supercar. Bad take? Ah, one of Mopar's finest, the SRT10 Viper. Every bloody angle of that car is just a money shot. Hope he knows how to handle that thing. Vipers can bite. He's going for a classic. A Challenger from 1970. Very nice. Whoa, that pony car's a rarity. Keep her mint. Or, don't. It's yours after all. 1969 Dodge Charger. Nice. 1969 Charger and just a touch over 420 cubic inches of displacement. Nice! Someone's been scouring Bring a Trailer for that Cossie. Solid choice. That Cosworth can easily hang with the best of them. It's also living proof that the Golf may not always be better. That GT500 packs a wallop. Just wait for that exhaust note. You'll know it when you hear it. Hey, let me know if Clarkson gets a little too close to that Shelby. I got a spray bottle. Look what they've done to his new Civic. That Civic's looking mint. That Lambo's looking fresh, but keep it on the road. Wouldn't want to end up in a compilation video, would you? That Murchie logo tops out at 211 miles per hour, 344 kilometers per hour, so keep your head on right. Can anyone say brap 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 brap? That RX-7 sure can. That FD's a rotary legend. I wonder what they're going for right now. Oh my god! Hey, it might not have all the quirks of the older Evos, but it's still got the rally DNA. Quite the score. If you end up making 10 versions of something, odds are it's gotta be good. Just look at the Fast and Furious movies. Slightly, fuck it, it's an S13. That's a beautiful, wonderful S13. We all know what the SX means, right? I spot a Sylvia. Classic. S15, rebuilt from the ground up. You'll love to see it. I'd happily trade my soul for an R34. And given current market conditions, that outcome is looking increasingly likely. You take care of Godzilla, you hear me? That's a gift. Oi, look there. A Zonda. Looking like a delicious wedge of Parmigiano Reggiano. Did you rob a bank to afford that Pagani? I mean, seriously, you can tell me. I'm good for it, just give me a cut, but dead serious. Did you rob a bank? GTO or GTFO, that's what I always say. I don't always say that, but I should. You've got the brawn, but have you got the balls? People often ask what defines a muscle car. I think the Cura's a great place to start. You gotta paint your engine displacement on the side, otherwise, no dice. 13 seconds on the quarter mile for that 70 Cura, right off the showroom floor. Well, hopefully not right off the showroom floor, that's a lot of broken glass and injured salesmen. Oh, I'm a sucker for a GT2. Nice pick, Cooper. The pride of Stuttgart, that. What, did you happen on a barn find there, Mr. Cooper? If so, that GTO cleans up mighty nice. Some consider the 65 GTO to be the first muscle car. That thing's a proper pioneer. GTR, R35, Skyline on steroids, whatever you call it. I want it. You will never hear a better exhaust note than this car. Stop looking for it. It doesn't exist. Don't at me. If the supercharged V8 of the Shelby GT500 doesn't wet your whistle, I'm afraid nothing will. We'll be handing out ear protection for those of you who don't want to go deaf by this Shelby. Look at that beauty. The only STI I'm interested in acquiring. From 22B to bug-eyed everything in between, the Subi WRX simply can't miss. Blimey, is that a Supra? No, I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous at all. Why would I be jealous? It's just a Toyota, nothing special, nothing to be jealous about. And that's an AE86 right there. Needs no introduction. It's... Whoa. Deja vu. I've just been in this place before. There it is, folks. A classic. The Hachiroku. Quite the big boy purchase there. That Volkswagen R32. Question is the Golf better? That's an R32 right there. No, not the Skyline. Past that. The Volkswagen, yeah. Fucking alphanumerics. The name's Cooper. Nick Cooper. And he just picked himself up a DB9. Class choice. Even though Ford Motor Company sold their share of Aston in 2007, I can't help but feel like they still copy-paste this car's grille onto nearly every car they make. Sad, really. Time to move on, Fomoko. What the fuck? What's that doing here? He bought it? Oh, money laundering for sure. 100%. Not a chance in hell those winnings alone. Congratulations on that legitimate purchase you just made. 3 cheers. Hip hip hooray. What? Did Andrew Tate suddenly wander into the festival? Don't tell me Nick Cooper bought that thing. Nick Cooper bought that thing? I told you not to tell me that. Wasn't this guy just driving a Golf? Well, I guess that's what insane dedication and, as of yet, unproven fraudulent financial activity gets you. Cheers. You gotta love the Lancia. Great legacy and plenty of power to get the job done. Let's see how he works it, lads and lasses. That Lancia is a classic. One of 70 street legal McLaren F1s right there. Truly a gem of the automotive world. That's a McLaren F1, or, as some of you might know, the car whose instrument cluster graces the NTSC jewel case cover for Gran Turismo 2. Look it up. Well, that GT3 RS is about the closest thing you're gonna find to an honest-to-God street-legal race car. At 415 horses, this GT3 RS is really pushing its naturally aspirated six-banger to its limits. Is that a Cupra? Now that Seat seat he's sitting in doesn't just sit about. Sat under the bonnet is a four-banger good for 240 horsepower. That Seat should satiate any sap sat in its seat. Why the fuck do I do this to myself? You know, with a little bit of TLC and a whole lot of weight reduction, these American cars can go from unwieldy beasts that handle like giant bars of soap to slightly more wieldy beasts that handle like normal-sized bars of soap. That car could really do some damage down at the drag strip. You're gonna need to keep her straight though. When things go sideways at that speed, they have a tendency to go upside down too. If you check a dictionary, and that dictionary happens to have printed pictures on the inside, most dictionaries don't, but right next to powerful car, you're gonna see something like this. Nothing but oomph from the bonnet out. Tread lightly. This ride's got a ton of juice. I know what you're thinking, oh, never mind, it's all straight anyways, it'll be fine. And to that I say, hey, pasta's straight too, till it gets wet. So don't spill your juice, and you won't get wet, is what I guess I'm trying to say. When all is said and done, you ought to take that beefy car of yours and rev it to redline at midnight outside your house. Bet your neighbours would love that. We'll need to talk shop soon, Cooper. That is a serious build. Sounds like the crew behind that build worked day and night to get it ready for today's races. Imagine the time, the effort, the bloody money something like that takes. Absolutely mental build. I wonder if that thing's still street legal. Keep AAA on the horn, just to be safe. Hope you still got that Golf, because I reckon this thing just got bumped right out of daily driver duties. Can't wait to see that hot piece of motor in action. Don't keep us waiting too long, eh? That, lads and lasses, is the kind of car you can get when money is the least of your concerns. If you need a good nut punch to get you into racing mode, just think about how much money this cost. That should wake you up. He's gonna need to be laser focused to keep this one on the tarmac. There's loads of explanations on where he got all that cash from. The most savoury theories involve a Pontiac Aztek with two dead drug dealers caught in the grill. So maybe I'll just refrain from speculating for now. Lads and lasses, I just got a bit of bad news in regards to our resident rookie, Nick Cooper, who's on the tail end of losing his last 3 straight races. Ouch. Here's to a better tomorrow. Looks like the wind just hasn't been at Cooper's back. Yesterday, or the day before, or the day before that. Okay, he's had a rough go of things lately, but today is a new day, so let's see what he makes of it. If I was in Nick Cooper's position, well, first, I'd probably take a long walk, maybe punch the dirt a little bit, then I'd really try to buckle down and take back some of this lost time while I still can. Well, it's an unfortunate series of events for Cooper, who's been down the pike of some bad luck as of late. 3 races with nothing much to show for. I for one hope to see him back on the horse very soon. Buy the dip, lads and lasses, buy the dip. It's called Cooper Coin. It's held mostly by me, you can mint an unlimited amount, and it's not pegged to shit. But it's gonna go up, I can feel it. Buy the dip, folks. Buy the dip. Things have gone quite south for Cooper. Deep south. Like Florida deep south, and that's no good. Yeah, 5 races walking away empty-handed. So let's keep our hopes up for Nick Cooper and see if we can, I don't know, lift him and his car up and push them on with the power of friendship or something along those lines. Like I was saying, rough times for Nick Cooper. Seems he can't turn things around just yet. The crowd and myself, we're all behind you. This can't last forever. I mean, it can, but it probably won't. Probably. Well, you win some, you lose some. Or you just lose some. Hopefully, either a change in his technique, mindset, cartoon, the wind for Christ's sake. Hopefully something will have changed and set him on a better path. This is starting to hurt, folks. Genuinely. I'm really hoping for some improvement from Nick Cooper. 7 races without a win. I know that's got a sting from where he's standing too. We've still got your back. Keep your head up, man. 7 races in a row, Cooper. My man, let's tourniquet this shit and start grabbing some podiums, huh? We might need to start digging a hole beneath the standings board out here. Bring it home, man. This is quite the test of character for Cooper. I know many in his position will just up and quit, but he seems to be taking it in stride. Of course, I'm not in his head. He might be losing his bloody mind, and well, at this point, I wouldn't blame him. Stay the course, Nick. Just do it a little faster. No more half measures, said Mr. Cooper as he rocketed into 10 straight races without a win. Buddy, do you need something? Help yourself to some drambuie if you like, just after the race, of course. You already look impaired enough as it is. No offense, listen mate, all it takes is one. Just give us one win to sink our teeth into, I'm begging ya. Do you reckon that maybe if he's got the police on his tail, he'll win? Like, if the threat of imminent arrest and fine and vehicle impoundment is present and real, he'll actually put up a good showing? I mean, if the cops catch him and throw him in, not the drunk tank, but the not being very good at driving tank, just for the weekend, do you think he'll come back better? Just spitballing ideas here, nothing concrete for now. Please win a race, Nick. Before I forget, I must mention our man Nick Cooper has pulled out 3 wins in a row in the Ricey Riders events. Quite a solid showing. Now let's just see if he can keep up the pace. Nick Cooper is 3 for 3, lads and lasses. Number 4 is here. So how about it, Nick? We're feeling good. How about you? Great call from someone here on the team. They spotted Nick Cooper racking up some wins while we weren't even looking. 3 to be exact. Good show, mate. Shall we make it number 4? In the midst of all this chaos, we neglected to spot something of a pattern forming here. Seems Nick Cooper just keeps on taking the podium. Is this the start of something even greater? Time will tell. Whoa, how'd that get past me? Hold on now. Nick Cooper putting work in, taking 3 wins in a row. This young man just might have some staying power. Let's see if this streak holds up. Well, I reckon someone's beaming from ear to ear right now. One Nick Cooper, he's got 5 consecutive wins under his belt. And maybe it's just me, but I don't think he's considering stopping just yet. Let's keep a close eye on him as he goes for number 6. Nick Cooper, my man, are you having a good time or what? Sure looks like it from here. I count 5 wins back to back to back. I'm gonna try to keep the hype going for my side. You just keep doing what you're doing. Alright folks, I'm proper invested. I don't know about you. Nick Cooper is not letting a soul encroach on his streak. Good on you, my friend. And here's to another. Lucky number 7, lads and lasses, but if I'm being honest, I don't believe luck has a damn thing to do with it. Nick Cooper is just putting up a tremendous performance, the likes of which I can't say I've ever quite seen before. One at a time, slowly but surely as anything, Cooper is just bringing it home every single day. Folks, let's keep it electric for him, and he might just be able to keep this going even longer. I'm telling you, it's one for the record books. If it isn't yet, it sure as shite should be. You just don't see this kind of consistency these days. Nick Cooper keeping us on the edge of our seats yet again to see if he's got it in him to keep this streak going. Unbelievable! Unbloody believable! 10 races and Nick Cooper just absolutely demolished every single one of them. Utterly outstanding performances from start to finish. Not since the likes of the Showdown King himself have we seen a string of victories like this. I think it won't be long now until he and Nick Cooper meet face to face. I don't think a brake disc the size of Saturn's ring could slow this guy down. He just laid a major smackdown on one of the biggest names from one of the biggest teams. Keep an extinguisher at the ready. Nick Cooper's on fire. Here's Cooper! This racer is sitting quite pretty at the moment. The message being sent is very clear indeed. There's a storm headed your way, and his name is Nick Cooper. Another king bites the dust. The tattered remains of another king's crown lay scorched at Nick Cooper's feet. If you think you're safe from the Pepega Prowler, you've got a lot more confidence than I. The way I see it, if you got jewels on your head, it's time to either pony up or make a break for it. Drift King, Drag King, Grip King, Speed King, all down for the count. What did I tell you, folks? The bloodthirst is real. There is absolutely no shame in taking a knee, lads. No shame. In fact, every day it's looking like the wiser and wiser thing to do. Nick Cooper is the new Showdown King! Surely it won't be long before he lays that Street King crown precariously on his shielded noggin. Don't mind me, folks. I'm just going to be taking shelter under my desk. I think he's going to be after my spot in due time. That's it! It's over, lads and lasses. He's done it. He's bloody done it. From a nobody with a broken down Golf on the side of the highway to a master of drift, grip, speed, and the drag strip. I can't tell you whether his cousin would be proud or pure peeved. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to present your new Pepega Festival Street King, Nick Cooper! Oh my, that was dicey. Good to see he's alright. Come on up if you get a spare second. I'd love to hear the play-by-play. That thing is toast. Burnt toast. For the driver, complimentary band-aids and boo-boo cases at the first aid tent if you fancy. You see the state of that NSX? I could kill him. And the already inflated cost of every other NSX in the world just increased. Nice job, hero. I don't think the Germans could even put that S3 back together. He's turned that S3 to an S-3. To scrap it goes. That RS4's got to be the most expensive soda can you ever crushed, eh, Nick? Used RS4 for sale, slightly used, very single owner. AC blows sometimes, 9k or best offer. Even wrecked, that thing looks nicer than most of the new Beamers. That homologation special has been homogenized. Look, if you didn't like the M-Cope joke, you could have just said so. Ah, I get it. The M stands for mashed. All you boomers out there, please look away. I don't think a tin of Maguire's is going to solve that problem. And I thought the Viper was a threat. Didn't even consider the guy driving it. I told you that thing bites. That thing travelled 30, 40 some odd years to be here. Mangled to scrap in a day. Well done. The challenge, see, is to not wreck it. The only charge left is one for manicular vehicle slaughter. There goes that 69 Charger. Not nice. Well, that cost isn't worth shit now. The only escort you're gonna get now is a trip to the scrapyard. Sure, the old lug holes can take a rest now, but at what cost? The racing stripes won't save that Shelby now. I'm afraid your brake horsepower has been downgraded to 0. You crunch that car down any smaller, you're gonna have a black hole in your hands. You know, besides the one in your wallet. At least it's a Civic, and not like an NSX or something. Still a damn shame though. Far from the first Lambo to be crunched to bits. That thing is going to be the fastest mover at the salvage auction. Look on the bright side, no more Apex seals. I'll give you like 17,000 shiny nickels for it. Was the maintenance really so unbearable you had to go and break the thing? You're moving backwards, mate. That's de-evolution. Silly, salty, silly, whatever the fuck it is, it's totaled. Ryan would be devastated. That Datsun is down for the count. Drifts aren't supposed to end in a fence, or a tree, or upside down. You did learn right-hand drive before you got in that thing, didn't you? You're not a good person, you know that, right? It's more wedge than car at this point. It's not enough for this guy to own one of 25, he's also got to bloody destroy one of 25. JT, oh no he didn't.
Oh yes he did.
What the hell? Just leave it on the curb. I'm sure someone's uncle will scoop this thing up. Oh, Barracuda is in absolute shambles. Too much power for him. That's what happens when you put the quad pump in the V pattern. Bro must have been having complex string flashbacks. Don't know if I can blame him. Free Porsche souvenirs to anyone who can touch grass. There must be some amount of jail time for totaling an antique, right? Well, I'll admit that looked kinda cool, but look at that poor GTO. Can't I say it was the best idea to be putting a prototype into a race like this, but he did a number on that thing, didn't he? Call for a Nick Cooper. Please report to the MC tent. Carlos Ghosn, actual wanted fugitive and former CEO of the Nissan Motor Corporation, calling for Nick Cooper. I think you're in trouble. I bet that thing sent pieces flying. Maybe the electric SUV version is more your speed. I think maybe the pistons are aiming the right way now. I know Subis are built tough, but bejesus, that thing is proper frazzled. Is that a Supra? Oh my god, what you do to it? I am enraged. I'm not talking to you right now. Gas, gas, gas! You shouldn't have stepped on the gas! So hard you couldn't! Say, you pizzaed when you should have French fried. If you pizza when you're supposed to French fry, you're gonna have a bad time. More like, the Golf is battered. Maybe a Polo is more up your alley. Looks like Bond cooked the bomb 1 second too long this time. I know it's not the right Aston, but that thing has been vanquished. Wow. Okay, any parts of that thing anybody finds on the track, in the stands, etc., that might be worth something, like a year's salary, bring them to the MC table, please. I want to look at them. Yeah, look at them for safety purposes. 2 mil gone! Just like that! You might as well crash a house! Or 7! The Koenigsegg sat on a wall. Nick Cooper had a great fall. All the King's drifters and all the King's fans scoured for expensive car parts in the stands. Imagine taking a wrecking ball to your 800 horsepower 3-story mansion. Quality work there, Cooper. I don't think that was the Lancia's fault. I don't think road conditions had anything to do with that. What other variable could have played a role in that wreck? The Group B legend is no more, folks. What a shit show. Wow, there goes the F1. Now I know what the F stands for. Welp, rip that thing. Sorry, kiddos. At least you've still got the poster above your bed. The boys at Leipzig aren't going to be too appreciative of that. I think you found the limit of that GT3. Congratulations. So sad to see that Seat sat squandered and squashed, seared from the severe slaughter. Fuck, I'm doing it again! That's all she wrote for that Seat. A lot can happen in a quarter mile. Doesn't take much to send it in a totally different direction. Tons of opportunity for error on account of all those moving parts here. Tires, pistons, synchros, steering wheels, hands, eyes, feet. I'm keen to find out what went wrong there. I know in these types of events things can change in the blink of an eye, and before you know it, it's lights out. Cooper got derailed there, and it could have been any number of things. It's like that National Geographic show, he's like, disasters don't just happen, there's a heap of critical events that unravel a change of fateful decisions, or whatever. Yeah, it's like that. Seconds until disaster show, it's like that. Another casualty of the strip, folks. Figuratively speaking, of course, and no one died, thank God almighty. Cooper's car is worse for wear though. Time to go hunting through the wreckage for some answers. Cooper, just like so many legends before him, Block, McKay, Loeb, so on and so forth, he makes it look easy. But in reality, high-speed drifting is a serious skill. It takes focus and pinpoint precision to pull off. Case in point, things can go sour in an instant. Going sideways isn't for the faint of heart. When you're in that limbo state between stable driving and spinning out, there's little margin for cock-ups. But like my great-granddad said, it takes a hungry grizzly to teach you to keep it in your pants. I don't rightly know what that guy was up to. Quite the surprise there. Cooper's usually dripping in finesse. That don't make no sense. People see money shots at tandem drifters, high-fiving, touching bumpers, holding hands. Christ, they've done everything mid-drift except fuck at this point. Anyway, that style is all well and good, but what you don't see is the hours, days, weeks, and months of practice that come beforehand. Like any art, it's also a skill. Once that car gets away from you, there's no going back. Every car's limit is different, but it's a thin line that separates a controlled slide from a mess of oversteer and overcorrections. Points for style indeed, Cooper, but it looks like this tricky layout got the better of you. It's all about pushing hard till you find the boundaries and not going an inch further. Easier said than done though. Chaos seems to be reigning supreme out there. Terribly easy to get into a tango with another car, and before long, you're in the thick of it and just can't seem to get out. It takes two to tango, But it only takes one to absolutely push your fucking shit in, and that seems to be exactly what happened here. Plenty of lessons to be learned from this rather gruesome turnout that I'm sure we'll see Cooper employing in the near future. So many moving pieces, so many variables, so much momentum getting thrown around in all different directions. It's a wonder these dogfights don't break out like that more often. I think Nick Cooper would agree we can chalk that one up to wrong place, wrong time. You try to avoid it as best as you can, but at the end of the day, it's often chaos taking home the victory. I'm sure someone smarter than me has long since already calculated how velocity affects the minor changes a driver makes. But while I can't offer you any solid numbers myself, what I can tell you folks is it does make a difference. No one ever said it was cheap to drive in the fast lane. Cooper's no doubt feeling the burn from all angles right now, especially his pocketbook. Don't worry Cooper, they'll buff out those scratches. A few cranks of the old spanner, then it'll be... Who am I kidding? No, that thing's fucking canola cakes, my guy. One way to the junkyard, mate. Sometimes the best salvage is a bit of wisdom. But with that bit of havering done with, get out there and start sifting through parts. Even if it's just a flywheel, you're going to need it. Kinetic energy, it's the name of the game. You're not just walking the tightrope, you're right booking it across, and there's zero room for sloppiness. But no one ever said the sprint to speed kingdom would be a breeze. Right, so while we got a bit of a lull in the action, why don't I take a second to talk a little more about our boys from Abisu, the Ricey Riders. Long story short, a few years ago I got an email from this underground race organizer based out of Fukushima Prefecture promising a well-paying job documenting their toga races and car meets. Thought it was a phishing scam at first, didn't look into it, got lucky, it wasn't. Do as I say, not as I do. Of course, you can only distribute footage of illegal street racing for so long before the law catches on. So, naturally, these guys moved to the more legit track scene, and nowadays, wherever they are, you'll find me. Christ almighty, was that a downpour to end all downpours yesterday, or what? Fingers crossed we get a little sunshine here over the next few days. In the meantime, safety announcement from the folks at Ricey Riders. Don't hang over the barriers, and don't you wander onto the track, you wee cunts! Direct from them, no BS, very straight to the point I feel. Some folk have been asking me how many Ricey Rider events I've missed over the years. None of them. Not a single one of them. Do I sound like the kind of lad who gives any less than 110% at every bloody thing under the sun? Don't answer that. Bottom line, where that Pepega banner flies, you'll always find me. Aside from the racing, we got quite the solid lineup of other events. Kicking off with the Who's the Real MC battle, round 1. I'll be mud wrestling Dustin and the other announcers to assert my dominance on the stage. Also happening shortly thereafter, besides a quick scrub-a-dub-dub for yours truly, is going to be a car show set to start at 2. Keep your phones and cameras juiced, you're not going to want to miss that. What else? Of course, the 3:30 sharp, we've got a couple of real bangers planned. First up is a cheeky wet t-shirt contest. Contestants are encouraged to grab a spare tee, dunk it in some water, and we'll judge who does it best. After that is going to be the hot legs competition. We're calling for the dude with the most leg hair to come up and see if he can stand having it all singed off with a lighter. And last but certainly not least, we're going to wrap up the day with Drunk Goggles Bumper Cars, which I think needs no explanation. Just make sure you're not late for that one. I want to take this opportunity to let everyone here at the festival know we got some LEOs posted around the place. Everything's legal, don't worry about that, but they're just here to keep an eye out. Now most of these officers are out in the open, plainly marked, got their light bars on, and good on you fellas. But your boy's been doing a bit of peeping, and a few of those buggers are stashed away from clear sight. Well, we can't be having that, can we? So let me take a moment to introduce them to you all. We got Unit 181 at the south gate, quote-unquote, hiding behind some trees. There's Unit 227 perched on the back side of the westbound overpass near the main entrance. And finally, a plainclothes officer by the name of Jake Belleros is out with a couple bags of oregano on offer. Isn't that nice of him? Now don't be shy, lads. 86 the hide-and-seek game, and come on out. In all seriousness, if things go sideways, you're not much good sitting at the outskirts watching Netflix, are you? No. Did you know you can download the audio-only version of this event online? Truly. Just go to https:// www.blackpanthaa.com bit.ly/3 capital Y capital Z 1 lowercase n lowercase k capital Q and enjoy. Easy. At these speeds and with these conditions, the road is like a cheese grater on tyres. So you might spot some marshals out on the track right now, sweeping up what they can of these little bits of shredded tyre. They call them marbles, and they can be disastrous to a run. So if anybody asks you, have you lost your bloody marbles? You tell them the voice in your head, that's me, told you to say, no, they're right there in that dustpan. I just gotta be transparent with you lads and lasses. I've had numerous randos in suits come up to me throughout the festival and ask me to report on any drivers who haven't got their permits in order. To any of you Soren G-men to whom I haven't made it proper clear enough yet, that's not my bloody job. Plus, if I did do that, at least half of these buggers would be out of the competition entirely. Oh look, there's one now giving me the stink eye. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. At least half. And I'm sure it's shite not telling you which half. I played the Soren 5th. You wankers. I tell you, the zany things some of these guys used to get up to. Late night drag races down the Autobahn, 500 brake horsepower turbocharged Sentras versus a Hellcat, shopping mall parking lots filled with all manner of hoopties and riced up shitboxes. I had the privilege of being present and filming a handful of these ridiculous events. Little did I know at the time I was basically recording exhibit footage for the court. Nonetheless, crazy times those. Just a reminder, there's still some time before the next race gets underway. If you care to grab a marker and write your name on the start line, you've still got a chance, but officials are going to be clearing the track for racing in short order. So now's the time, if you want to put your name, or your favourite quote, or some other kind of sappy message on the checkered line. One laddie actually proposed to his missus by popping the question in writing right there on the white pavement. I didn't know whether to cringe or cry. I wonder if she wrote back yes. Cheers to you corner workers out there. The whole lot of them are volunteers and they're busting their bollocks to get the track spick and span for the next showing. Hey, maybe try and keep the bodywork on your car for them this time, right? You know who I'm talking to. Oh, that's right, I nearly forgot. The riders are holding a special raffle. Tons of goods up for grabs right now, and all proceeds go to some great causes. 40% to St. Jude Children's Hospital, 25% to Habitat for Humanity, 20% to Eden's Home for the skill impaired, and 15% goes straight into my RX-7 funds. Come on folks, help the needy, and maybe win some choice merchandise. All the drivers are out there down at the track. I'm keen to go grab a few words with them. Track scouting is still going on though, so I better pack my armoured jeans and a riot shield. Safety first! Alright laddies, it's about that time. Unless you're keen to get spread thin on the pavement like butter on toast, you'd best be advised to scoot your hands off the track. Things will be underway in just a few minutes time, so shake a leg and grab a seat. Oh, I hope none of you cagers got it in your mind to go anywhere right now. That parking lot is an automotive jigsaw puzzle at the moment. Unless you came to the festival in a Honda Grom, a Vespa, or a Peel P50, I'm afraid you're not going anywhere for the time being. Well, Raven West is not messing around. Have a gander at that lineup. They dress to impress. Maybe I'll see if I can get one of the grouchy looking buggers to smile for a tick. 7:45 you say? Alright then. You're hearing it first lads and lasses, 7:45 tonight. That's 1945 hours. There's going to be a practice session taking place at 7:45 PM tonight. If you want to get a peek at some after hours exercise, 7:45 is when it's going down. Run! Shark! There's a shark on the track! Everybody out except the drivers! Run for your lives! There we are. Oh, look at this! I've only just now noticed. I've got a little weather bug right here. It's got like a text-to-speech feature. It's supposed to read out the weather. Let's give it a listen.
Current temperature, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Partly cloudy. High, 87. And low, 63. Chance of rain, 40%.
Well, that's a bit uncanny, but still nice to have. It must be like a dream come true getting to race at this track. What kind of damage do you reckon a 96 LeSabre could do here? 4 minutes? 4 minutes 30? I think I might just hang back tonight after the main events and try my hand at a lap or 3. Be gentle. I'm a virgin. Cooper is just wilding out there. I still can't quite believe it. Neither can the organisers over at the Top Gear team. Have you seen the hungry eyes they've been making at him? I think it's only a matter of time now before he gets a serious phone call from those guys. Fast as Cooper is in a straight line, he's got quite the knack for putting her sideways. That can only mean that those fellows over at Monster Energy are taking notice. I think he's well due for a meet up with them any day now. You know, folks, I think the lads over at Raven West Motorsport got a bit of a conundrum on their hands. My guess is they aren't quite sure if they want to wipe Nick Cooper clean off the map or snatch him up before someone else can. Either way, he's got quite a lot of eyes on him, and just a hunch, I think they're going to be following him right up to the podium at Raven West. Sky's the limit. Hotshots are known for their sleepers, and I think the rise of Nick Cooper has been quite on brand in that regard. Rumour has it, they've had their eyes on him ever since his great showing at the Ricey Riders Speed Challenge. I reckon if he can keep the momentum going just a little longer, Hotshots will extend him an invite. Quite the honour. Cool, that certainly doesn't bode well for Hammond. Good to see he's alright, but that challenger has seen better days for sure. He was cool and collected through most of that, but it didn't take long for things to take a turn. Well, at least something took a turn, isn't that right, Hammond? Hammond's had something of a mini exorcism there with his challenger demon. Looks like the hellspawn is well and truly totaled. And Richard Hammond, I'm willing to bet, is not pleased at the moment. Oh no, not again, Han. Folks, he didn't end up upside down this time, but yet again Honlu is without his Velside RX-7. I hope the family can help him out in these trying times. Bad showings for Monster Energy here, lads and lasses. Han has, yet again, done a number to his Neon Rotary, and I doubt that Mr. Block is going to be the slightest bit pleased to hear about it. That, ladies and gents, is not going to be a cheap fix. You don't need me to tell you that an open wheel racer like that is as good as scrap when it takes on that much damage. That is a serious setback for the Raven West team. Now I think Patrick Fry, engineering director of McLaren, the very man who designed that car, would agree with me that by the technical industry definition for it, that thing is proper fucking buggered. Theo's Cooper, Mini Cooper that is, not Nick Cooper, Theo's Cooper is down for the count. But, wait, isn't that your wife's car? Ouch, that is not gonna go over well. BlackPanthaa's Mini Cooper has just taken a real beating. Presumably his wife Meadow is watching at home, so let's maybe try and keep the cameras off it for now. I think that's more her car than his. In the meantime, no doubt he'll be scrambling for some quick fixes to make it look presentable, let alone get it running again. Lads and lasses, this is a totally unexpected turn of events. McKane is feeling the McPain today. 1,000 brake horsepower out the window in a matter of seconds. It's not often you see a king crack under the pressure like that. They might be able to bring that venom back from the brink, but absolutely no promises on that front. Folks, I gotta say, I'm kind of at a bit of a loss for words right now. Nathan McKane is not crossing the finish line in style today. Rather, he's taken the rider's shame in a safety car as his twin-turbo Venom gets hauled away on a flatbed. What a shame. I'm sure the rest of the team is going to get an earful for his mistakes. Continuing to defy every possible expectation you had of the lad, Nick Cooper goes and sticks it square in the face of Richard Hammond at the quarter mile. That was a sensational showing indeed. Nick Cooper blows another racer clear out of the water yet again, folks. For every move Han made, Cooper had an answer, and now Han gets to take the pit lane drive of shame and find an excuse for why the pride of the Monster Energy team couldn't quite pull a win out today. My hat's off to Nick Cooper. If Lando Norris of Raven West can't manage to outdrive him, I struggle to think of anybody who'll be able to hold him down. McKane is going to have some serious words for Norris. Who knows, he might even take his place in the next races. Stranger things have happened. Do you feel that, ladies and gents? There's a disturbance in the force, and something tells me Speed King Kuru HS can feel it too. Cooper's got Theo, BlackPanthaa Thomas, and all the Hotshots crew on the ropes. Can't you just picture his eye twitching? Looks like Burke of Team Pepega simply doesn't have an answer for Nick Cooper. I reckon that lot thought they were safe from his wrath, but they couldn't be more sorely mistaken. Quality moves by Cooper. That is certainly a real shame. Nick Cooper had to come to grips with Edel Gas Pirate of Team Pepega, and it looks like he just couldn't make it happen. But that's why Edel is on that team. He's got skills, and it's gonna take a little more than that to show him up. I reckon it's best to regroup and plan the next attack. That's how the Cooper crumbles, ladies and gents. Edel really excels at the quarter mile, so Nick's gonna have to really turn up the pressure if he wants to take him down next time. That was something special to say. Rico Sakurauchi, or as you might know him better as, Turbo Anime, is electric in that 350Z. Unfortunately for Nick Cooper, it was too much for him today. Turbo's more than just a guy who wraps your car. On the right track, and behind the wheel of that Nissan, he's a force of nature. That means if he wants any shot at all at taking Rico down, he's going to have to try just a wee bit harder next time. Well, it must be said, Nick Cooper fought the good fight today, but to no avail. I wouldn't dare say it was all for naught though. There's plenty to be learned from a driver like Turbo. He's not just flash and dazzle, like many of his esteemed competitors. He's easy to learn from, but a bear to beat. No doubt, these two will face off again, and maybe then, we'll see something more from Cooper. Look at that, folks. If you'll remember, Cooper showed up Burkay Yeet way back in the rookie rampage, and now I think Burkay just scored himself a little payback. Great performance from Yeet, and it just goes to show why he's on Team Pepega in the first place. Nick Cooper is no pushover, but it seems he's just been, well, for lack of a better term, pushed over just a bit. But he was up against Burkay Yeet of Team Pepega, and if you aren't aware, Burkay's quite the threat out on the track. So Cooper's going to need to bring his unadulterated A game next time if he's to take the podium. That is going to be a tough loss for Cooper to take, lads. The Polish powerhouse of Team Pepega was just a little bit too much for him. But I bet he's just itching for a rematch, so keep your eyes peeled for when these two battle it out again. Well, they don't call that Polonaise a sleeper for nothing. When the dude from Krakow, Vapor himself, is behind the wheel, you'd best keep your eyes wide open. Vapor's gap is minimal though, so he's going to have to keep his wits about him at his next showing with Cooper. Hammond's Damon is just an absolute... Well, Damon. Now Nick Cooper is no slouch, not by a long shot, but if anything was proven here today, it's that sometimes there's no substitute for age, wisdom, and experience. Looks to me like all the cards were firmly grasped in Hammond's mitts today, but next time he might not be so comfortable. Cooper isn't known to give up easily, and I reckon a rematch might just tell a different tale. Han had the upper hand today, no doubt about it, but I reckon this was a warm-up for Cooper. The inevitable rematch between these two is where the chips are really going to go down. It's plain to see, lads and lasses, Han Lu of the Monster Energy team puts on an epic show nearly every time his rubber hits the road. Pure impressive indeed. As far as our helmeted hero Nick Cooper, well, I think he's just learned a thing or two. So, he'll be a force to be reckoned with in these events going forward. Unlike when one of the Top Gear fellows goes up against Nick Cooper, here we have a driver who I believe is actually younger than him. But a few years difference aside, they're practically the same age, just with a wide valley separating their skill sets. That makes for some proper, edge of your seat viewing, and it's not done yet. I sense a rematch coming just around the corner. Norris of Ravenwest putting up a great showing here, always a crowd pleaser, but Cooper was not far behind in today's event, so when round 2 inevitably arrives, he just might be ready to pull ahead. That's the thing about Theo. He's got quite the collection of cars at his disposal, and while I can't speak to his off-track proclivities, one thing's for sure, he gets a variety of experience through and through. These largely even-leveled matchups offer some serious picture-perfect moments, but we might start seeing Nick Cooper scooch just ahead enough next time round. Pantha's going to need to be a lot more cautious than that next time these two meet. He had the high ground today, but there's no telling what Cooper will be able to pull out in the meantime. Those Top Gear boys do not play around, especially Hammond. Something of a tremendous loss for Nick Cooper. Another one in the bag for the hamster. Cooper's best just wasn't good enough today, unfortunately. Still, I'm sure he'll be back for another go at it soon enough. That was a hell of a show for us, lads and lasses, but yet another unfortunate loss for Nick Cooper. Han and his RX-7 are just proven to be too hot to handle. Han Lu of the Monster Energy Drift team is showing himself to be quite the formidable foe to Cooper. I sense this is a case of the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object. Let's see who comes out on top next time. Lando is no rando, lads and lasses. Behind the wheel of that McLaren, he is danger to be sure. Dear me, Nick Cooper facing some serious difficulties with Lando Norris. Thing is, you can't wait for the guy to make a mistake. He probably won't. So Cooper is going to have to just send it and get the jump on him next time, straight away. Oh, and it would appear the BlackPanthaa made light work of Cooper that time. Never underestimate a YouTuber, Nick. They know the algorithm better than you. Maybe I'm getting a wee bit ahead of myself here, lads and lasses, but I am really looking forward to the upcoming rematch with these two. I mean, it might have just been my own nerves getting the better of me, but did it look to any of you as well like Theo was getting a little tilted? Looked to me like he was a wee bit tilted. Anyway, next time we'll see how that tracks when Cooper takes him on again. He might be a tad on the short side, but Hammond is a heavyweight on the asphalt. Cooper's got just a bit of ground to make up, but I think in their next clashing, Richard might be in for a rude awakening. Hammond and that demon, just beast-like. Cooper might just need to bust out the Ouija board and the crucifix if he's planning on gaining any headway against that absolute monster combo. Core blamey, Han is just giving Cooper the shakedown. Yet again, another loss to the Tokyo Drifter himself. I reckon Cooper's bound to one-up him at some point, right? It seems to me, ladies and gents, that Cooper is indeed improving, but in the meantime, it is just a treat to see Han throw that RX-7 into corner after corner. I can just hear Nathan McKane and his crew cackling in the pit lanes right now. Yet another win for Lando Norris and his McLaren. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, as the saying goes, and I think Lando Norris and all the Raven West crew would be well advised to keep that bit of wisdom in mind. They're taking win after win right now, but I get the feeling something's simmering inside Cooper, and he just might let out the lion very soon. Whereas I thought Cooper's learning period was over last time, it seems the teachers just assigned him extra homework. Yet another loss at the hands of the BlackPanthaa, but maybe, just maybe, this is the straw that broke the YouTuber's back. I hope you're taking notes, Nick. I certainly have been, and I think I've got a technique that might work in your favour. Check in at the MC tent when you get a minute. Hint, it involves the gas pedal. With that, I'm Allister McKenzie, your host for Everything Pepega. This is Ricey Riders, and I'll be right back with more in just a few moments' time. Don't go far, lads and lasses. The restart is coming up. I will be right back. Plenty down the pipe, folks, so stick around for it. I'll be back with you in about 10 minutes. Folks, my name is Allister McKenzie, your surgeon, your proctor, your helicopter. Don't move a muscle, I'll be back in a jiff. This is Allister McKenzie at the Ricey Riders events here at the one and only Pepega Street Festival, and the main vein must be drained. So while I reconcile that, please enjoy the tunes. Oh, just got a text from the plug. Be back in 5. Anyway, folks, this is Alistair
McKenzie?
Yes?
Do you own the dark green Buick parked in Lot C?
Yes I do.
Okay, it's being towed.
Oh, son of a... lads and lasses, I will be right back in 5, possibly 10 minutes. Don't wait up.
Fucking shit.
I think that's as good a time as any for a break. Let's have a look around, shall we? I'm Allister McKenzie. Be back in 20 or so minutes. That's fucking funnel cakes, isn't it? Oh, shit, yes. Folks, follow me to funnel cakes. I'll be back in a bit. Funnel cakes, motherfucker. I've been talking all day, lads. I think it's time for some of the old throat coat. Get your mind out of the gutter, it's eucalyptus tea. Crazy kids. Alright, I'll be back in 10. This is Allister McKenzie, your MC for the festivities here today. I'm going to step away for a tick, and I'll be back in a few to announce the next round. Things will be ramping back up here soon. In the meantime, I gotta step away. Don't get too rowdy out there, but don't go anywhere. Be back in a few. Quoth the Raven, I gotta take a mad fucking leak. I'm your host, Allister McKenzie. I'll be back with you in just a couple minutes. Right, I think it's time to go ogle at a bunch of cars I can't afford. Come join me, fellow plebs, or stay right there. I'll be back in 20. Lads and lasses, I've been Allister McKenzie. We'll be back very shortly to kick things off once again. In the meantime, enjoy the DJ's tracks. Folks, I want to get deep for a second. Existential even. What do you see when you look in a mirror? Do you see your true self? Or do you see the person everyone else wants you to be? If you look hard enough, do you find you don't even recognize your own face? If that's the case, oh hot shit, lunch is here. Lunchtime, lads, we'll be back in a tick. Fucking lunchtime. Louder than God's revolver and twice as shiny. This is Allister McKenzie tapping out for just a few minutes time before we get back into the thick of it. Keep it here. Christ on a bike. Sounds like someone from Raven West's gone and picked a fight with some poor bloke. Alright, 1 second, I'll be back shortly. Hey you wee cunt squirgoli! Allister McKenzie's the name, and I'd say it's time I took a lap around the place. Stretch the old legs out. Keep yourself near a loudspeaker though, I'll be back in a while. You know, while I've been calling races all day, some cheeky bugger went and called the pizza place down the road. As if we don't have catering right here. Now the driver's here and he can't get out. What a shit show. I'm gonna go try and take care of this, but don't be surprised if you see this delivery guy in the next race. Alright, stay put lads. That'll do lads, that'll do. I'm Allister McKenzie, stepping away for just one special moment. Be back in a flash. There's plenty more to come. More racing will be coming very soon. I'll be stepping away for a sec, but I'll come back shortly just before the racing commences. Stay tuned, folks. I'm keen to chat it up with some drivers before things get back underway. I'm Allister McKenzie. Don't miss me too much. I'll be back in just a few short minutes. This is Allister McKenzie, master of ceremonies, a fat flippin' frenzy, more bars than Epstein's cell, more fire than there's no one in hell. Thought I was done, but you know, I'm just getting started, hitting the gas like at the ass of a fat bloke that just farted, look alive. I drop more tops than a soft roof MX-5, I push it harder than a truck off the tracks before the chain arrives, and if you thought the show was over, well, you're sorely mistaken. Just gotta go make myself a rusty nail, stirred, not shaken. I'm making a monster run. Anybody want one? Anybody? No, I'm not gonna pay for it. I'll go grab it for you, but I'm not paying for it. Imagine. For your information, this is Allister McKenzie, your MC. Just gonna be taking 5 real quick. I'll be back before you know it. My name is Allister McKenzie, aka the real Ali MC, aka Mickey A, aka Mackie Dacky Doc, aka the voice inside your head. Take your meds, or I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm Allister McKenzie, calling the shots for today's races. Write that down. That will be on the quiz at the end. Just gotta pop down to the MC's lounge. Don't get too rowdy, kids. Oh, excuse me? Yeah, right, okay. So as I was saying, hang on a tick, that's me. Hello. Oh, alright, okay. Okay, that's not ready yet. Right, okay, not ready yet, got it. I'm waiting on word from the team here about, nothing really important anyway, so let's just move on, I guess. Also, one thing I know is the other driver, oh, Christ on a cracker. Come on then, you rubbish heap. That'll be enough from you. Core. Ladies and gents, I'm just getting word that it's going to be a few minutes more. Sorry about that. Up next is... Oh, it's the... Oh dear. Excuse me, folks. I'm sorry. Oh, that went down the wrong pipe. Alright, I can't talk any further. Someone's just rickrolled me on my own headphones. Can't even hear myself think. Anytime you're ready, fellas. As I was saying before, there's... hang on a tick. I got this itch on my back. It's too far down to get over the shoulder, but it's too high up to get from the side. Ah, you're a hero, lad. Many thanks. Alright, where was I? One thing I should... Oh, hold on. Getting something in my earpiece. Aurora Borealis. At this time of year? At this time of day? In this part of the country? Localized entirely within your kitchen? Must be interference. Anyways, 1 second, lads and lasses. Got a word coming in from the organisers. Free Monster Energy samples at the food court. Well, that hardly seems important. Sorry about that, folks. I'd say the most important thing is... Oops, muted myself. My mistake. Hold on, just gotta send a quick text to the missus. Wake up, babe. New Dustin video out. There we are. Alright, where was I? If you ask me, Nick Cooper has quite...
Am I on MTV?
That back, you wee wanker! You're like 12, what are you doing here? So lads and lasses, I've got a list here. Where did it go? Where's the list? Halloween took it? And no one thought to mention... Fine, it's not important. But look, if anyone finds a list with a lot of seemingly not very important things on it, please bring it back to the MC booth. It was actually quite important. So the gist is that until I will fucking fight you! You hear me, SM7B? I will end you! Yeah, and you know the thing about him is... listen to me. The thing about him is... What a professional. Oh, now this is very nice right here. Yeah, right in my line of sight. Perfect place to park a tow truck. But what are you looking at me for? You know what you did. Before we continue, I'd just like to... What the holy hell was that? Hey, madam. I don't know how or why your kid's here, but could you please ask him to stop chewing on my cable? Thank you. Alright guys and gals, if you give me just a second, we're going to be moving tents here and... Oh, no? Not yet. Oh, alright. Well, I guess I'll just be staying right here then. Never mind. Glad we got that sorted. Lads and lasses, I think I can easily say that at no time in its over half a century history has Willow Springs ever seen as epic a showdown as we are about to see today. Nick Cooper has shown himself to be more than capable through his face-offs with Raven West to this point. However, this is going to be the ultimate test of his grip racing prowess as he locks horns with Nathan McKane, the Grip King himself. Bad time to bring it up again, but that venom does not pass emissions. You're a naughty boy, McKane, a naughty, naughty boy. Folks, the hype is just palpable out here. I can't wait to get underway. Not only does Nathan McKane bring to the table his Grip King title, but it's safe to say his experience on the other side of the law has, for better or for worse, served him well, facing off against the likes of Nick Cooper. No matter what happens, strap yourselves in, lads and lasses, we're in for quite the show. Didn't I tell you, lads and lasses? Didn't I say we were gonna find ourselves in this exact position sooner or later? Nick Cooper pounding on the Grip King's door like the town sheriff at high noon. Out comes the outlaw cowboy himself, Nathan McKane, cool and collected, but ready to defend his title at any cost. The only question left, fellow townsfolk, who's gonna walk away from this duel? Nothing like a thick helping of humble pie to bring you back to earth with the rest of us. Nathan McKane still dabbing the whipped cream away from his face after that one. No doubt in anyone's mind, I think, that Nick Cooper would be the one to serve it to him. Well, if there was even a single wayward suggestion that this was all luck, I think we can throw that theory directly into the bin. Nick Cooper and the Grip King still remain locked in a fierce battle that I know we are all just itching to see reach its resolution. Ladies and gentlemen, that... at this point, that title of Grip King is legitimately up in the air. We've just seen Cooper pierce the armor and go straight for the heart. Wake up, McKane. Foreplay is over. We're into the meat and potatoes now. It's not over till the fat lady sings, but Jesus, I think I hear her warming up her chords as we speak. Just the calm, cool and collected way Cooper goes about taking care of business these days. It just goes to show, he's no longer the fresh off the street rookie he once was. He wants that title, and he wants it now. Still some ways to go yet. You couldn't ask for higher octane racing than this, ladies and gents. You just couldn't. Nick Cooper might be lingering in McKane's rearview mirror, but as we all know, objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. Nathan McKane's title of Grip King stays firmly in his grasp, but Nick is not going to let him see a single drop of sweat as he continues to charge for what's rightfully his. I don't know if I'd call it Race of the Year, but it sure as shite wasn't a bomb from where I'm sitting. Cooper couldn't manage a win there, but the day is young, and I've got no reason to believe that he's not going to pounce on the first opportunity. Things have been hustling and bustling here at Autopolis to such a degree, I almost forgot to mention Nick Cooper. Some of you might have heard that name somewhere. Well, Mr. Cooper is going to be joining the lineup today. Fun fact, on the way to the festival, his VW Golf took a right proper crap, and apparently one of my colleagues who happened to run into him had to fix it for him. Well, I guess you gotta start somewhere, right? Hopefully that thing is running nicely now, and he can put his best foot forward. Nick Cooper will be joining us today because, as many of you are doubtlessly aware, he has turned out to be quite the stunning grip driver. Keep your eyes on him because his results can vary. Either way, it'll be intriguing to see what he does. Oh yes, we've got Nick Cooper here with us today. It's his first time turning up at Ricey Riders. If that name rings a bell, well, there's a good reason for it. Nick is the cousin of Ryan Cooper, who I'm sure needs no introduction. Apparently, racing blood courses through all the veins in that family. You can see it in their helmet-shrouded faces. Please join me in welcoming a new face and helmet to the Raven West events today. Organisers saw how he was turning heads at the grip races and they knew they had to get him out here. I've got it on good authority that he's quite the showstopper, so let's give him a big welcome and see what he can do. We've got a new face among us. And that would be Nick Cooper. Just like his cousin Ryan, who you may have heard of, he's got quite the background in street racing, but something like this, I reckon, is all new territory. Nonetheless, he's got the helmet head DNA on his side, so how about we cheer him on to a great start. Among the usual suspects, you'll find one Nick Cooper, who's gone above and beyond in his runnings at the Grip Race series so far. A lot of other drivers in the field are feeling a bit weary of him, and if I'm honest, I think they've got a reason to be. Did you see what I just saw then, lads and lasses? History! History is what that was! Not only did Nick Cooper just snatch the final checkered flag from Nathan McKane, not only did he snatch the Grip King title from him, but he also just nicked his bloody Viper too, right out from under him! I never thought I'd be saying this, but here it is, folks. We have a new Grip King! What a day indeed! And it looks like today the slice of humble pie lands solely on Nick Cooper's plate. Bit of a disappointment from where he's standing for sure. Nathan McKane stays at the helm of his mighty 1000 horsepower Venom another day, and Cooper is left to regroup and no doubt give it another go very soon. That burns, folks. That really burns. Nick Cooper walking away empty-handed yet again. With every victory, you can feel McKane's ego getting bigger and bigger as he towers over the little man. I try to stay in the middle on these things, but I'm a sucker for an underdog story indeed. We're rooting for you, Cooper. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. After all, there's certainly a reason that Nathan McKane has stood unchallenged as the Grip King for so long, and now we're getting a face full of it firsthand. But I do hope that if Cooper decides to test Nate again, that he's got quite the trick up his sleeve. Alright, come on, stop the bleeding. I feel like I'm in bloody Groundhog Day. There's gotta be some way for Cooper to bring down the king. That guy is just asking to be dethroned, and Nick Cooper seems bound and determined to be the one to do it. But that simply won't happen without a real, solid, no-holds-barred effort put in. Better luck next time, Cooper. Oh, and in case you haven't heard of him, we got a brand new driver here at the Ricey Riders lineup, Nick Cooper. I know what you're thinking. Yes, that Cooper. Seems the whole family was born with race helmets on their heads. Literally. Anyway, I haven't met the fellow one-on-one, but his deadpan eyes reek of determination, and I think he's bound to get some work done. Oh, and if that mud-stained off-white Mark IV Golf doesn't look familiar to you, then let me introduce you to its owner, Mr. Nick Cooper. Apparently second in a lineage of lads who like to go fast and wear their helmets all the time. Cooper came to us thanks to one of our many television advertisements. He came to us in a 1.4 litre, but I think he still might do just fine. It's the survival of the fittest out here with the Ricey Riders at the Pepega Street Festival. It's pure easy to tell from one day who's going to take and who's going to break. Today is the day the uninitiated get familiar with what it takes to win. So keep your eyes peeled for the defenders and the pretenders. We might have some new faces in the lineup, but just because they haven't got the 1,000-yard stare yet, don't let that fool you. There's still plenty of experience out on the field. To all you velocity veterans out there, be wary of your own hubris, and don't think for a second you've outgrown learning lessons. Folks, we're just pulling back the cover on some great stories yet to be told. Cooper's been gathering some favour with you lot. For a man of few words, he surely attracts a crowd. We can see already he wants to rock and roll, but it's going to be a long way to the top. Raven West and all the organisers here at the festival are calling for all braids and crades of up-and-coming drivers to show us what they've got. I foresee a fierce battle forming between the cosy long-time holders of titles and the next generation of motorsports moguls. It's the perfect catalyst for a rip-snorting good time. Big names, small names, short names, no names. A great variety of talents are converging on the festival, folks, and I can already tell it's going to be riveting to see them all clash. As I mentioned earlier, you're going to want to keep your eyes on Nick Cooper. He's already got the curiosity of the festival organisers, and now he's got their attention. Still, he's facing off against the top-notch lineup, so he's got his work cut out for him yet. If he doesn't mind a moment in the spotlight, I'd like to shine it on Nick Cooper. Now, they don't just hand an invitation out to anybody, and I think Cooper is anything but just another anybody. He's already proven his worth as a grip racer and a crowd pleaser, but I think the best is quite yet to come for him. Now, if I did have some disposable income to plop down on one of these up-and-coming drivers, I think Nick Cooper would have to be it. It's a mite early to tell, but doesn't he just make you feel like you're not the main character in this story? Nick Cooper is back among the action today. Many of you are no doubt following his success. Now, I know a lot of these drivers, especially the really young ones or the really old ones, can be something of a perfectionist, a completionist if you will. And the fact that he might not have snagged every single podium throughout the Ricey Riders events might be something of a stain on an otherwise phenomenal racing career. You know, I knew it! From the start, Nick Cooper has shown himself to be an absolute breath of fresh air, just the right amount of rock the boat to get some of these old-timers alert and back on their feet. One thing's a safe bet with Nick Cooper: when he drives, he does not disappoint. Expectations and predictions are aiming a little high, I will admit, but hey, look at the legacy he's up against. He's got big shoes to fill, and in my humble opinion, he's doing a bang-up job thus far. Granted, Nick Cooper has had a few, well, cock-ups, shall we say. But it's not about how often you cock up, it's about how quickly you get back on your feet after you cock up. And if anyone has shown that they can cock up hard and get right back on the saddle thereafter, it's Cooper. 100%, he's the cock up king. Hey, that should be its own title. Listen to me, folks, I'm putting it on the record. If Nick Cooper keeps up this impressive showing, he's going to the top. All the way to the top. I'm talking new king territory. Seriously, tall claims, I know, but he's absolutely killing it. Is it just me, or is it true that every time Nick Cooper hits the track, he just gets better and bloody better? More confidence in the corners, more power on the straights. His gait has even evolved, from awkward prepubescent to fucking Sigma male swagger overnight. It's like he's a whole new person. He's undeniably in his element, lads and lasses. Cooper. Every driver I talk with, that name just keeps coming up. He's all the buzz around these parts, and I doubt that'll stop being the case anytime soon the way he's driving. The way Cooper drives, it makes me wonder how much learning he did from his cousin, if any at all. I assume he picked up something. He just doesn't have that amateurish form that even a halfway decent commuter would have. There's none of it. He keeps the car planted, he puts it exactly where he wants it, almost every single time. Staying power, folks. That Nick Cooper's got staying power. Some might describe him as a persistently dedicated talent. However, if your name is Nathan McKane and you might happen to be walking past the MC tent talking a wee bit too loud for your own good, you might describe him as, quote, a gnat. He's like a little fucking gnat and he annoys me. Unquote. We await your response. #cancel McKane. I want to take this opportunity to remind you how truly difficult this level of grip driving really is. That's why it's so bloody impressive how easy some of these drivers make it look. I reckon the heat will keep getting cranked as we go forward, and the drivers will push themselves and their machines further and further. I was going to refer to Nick Cooper as a hurricane, but that just isn't accurate. A hurricane you got time to prepare for. But if you've been paying any attention at all to his rise so far, you know that these competitors were completely and utterly blindsided by him. Even I didn't expect such a solid showing. Cooper is a tornado or an earthquake, and he's got the permanence of a bloody volcano. Nick Cooper has become something of a household name at this point, and I think we'd better get used to seeing his name climb higher and higher up the standings until he's next to some real untouchables. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but oh man, that's going to be terribly exciting to witness. Though I don't reckon a single one of us thought Nick Cooper was tired of winning, just to emphasize that fact, another outstanding performance in the books. Won't be long now before we see him at Showdown Autopolis, which I'm wagering is a big bullseye in his sights. The clock is ticking for Nick Cooper indeed, ladies and gentlemen. It's only a matter of time before that invite to Showdown Autopolis lands in his mitts, and then it's proper go time. This brand of breathtaking, unforgivably dominating driving only comes along once in a blue moon, and it only attaches itself to the greatest names in motorsport history. I think it's no exaggeration to say that it's nested itself quite comfortably right in Nick Cooper's lap. The organisers and my fellow colleagues alike all share in the same sentiment. Nick Cooper has single-handedly redefined what it means to be the best. None of us thought it possible, but the results truly do speak for themselves. I'm not gonna mince words here, laddies. Some of you lot are getting proper creamed. Someone had to say it. I can't say for sure whether it would be an honour to drive among such talent as Nick Cooper, or if it would be downright infuriating to be at the business end of it. I imagine both. If you've been creamed by a Cooper, come to the booth and let me know about it directly. Oh, that didn't sound right. Yeah, scrap that whole idea. You hear that? You hear that, Nathan McKane? That's called churchbelltolling.mp3, and it's playing just for you. McKane, come out and play. McKane, come out and play. People have been talking, and the name Cooper has been inching closer and closer to the name McKane for quite a while now. It's almost inevitable at this point that the two will meet, throw their visors up, maybe kiss a little bit, and then really go to town on the track. It's only a matter of time, lads and lasses. Nah, you gotta give me this one, folks. Let's just say if I put money down on Cooper at his first Ricey Riders race, I'd be cashing out big time at the moment. The man is virtually unstoppable. And if I may make one more forecast for the near future, I bet the blokes over at Peak Performance are anxious to give him a ring. The lineup for Showdown Autopolis is growing by the minute. So I reckon, barring a catastrophic lapse in ability, Nick Cooper is on his way to the big leagues. Look alive, lads and lasses, it's Lower London's luckiest live wire, loaded with ludicrously lethal velocity, sure to leave lesions. Lucky to the leader Kuru, sure, but look out, if you let him lap ya, the Leadfoot Limey will leave your Legion Lion lifeless. Onlookers, let your limbs lash like lightning! I may be as fluent in German as I am in Klingon, but I don't need to understand the words to know that Lucas and his Trabant mean business. Guvam, Janyi Jiao, Edge Tweetavis. Well, look at what the tow truck dragged in. It's Samir Thapar with his... careful there. Anyway, please welcome Samir and his co-drive... you have to turn the wheel, Samir. You have to be easy. Concentrate, please. Once more, a warm round of applause for... Samir, please, I'm begging you. You have to pay attention, Samir. Stay on the road and listen to the calls, otherwise the car will break down. You will not finish. Fucking hell. Good. Lads and lasses, please put your hands together for a true rally talent, a legend known in all parts for his sheer racing ability, the one, the only, that's a triple caution, Samir! Triple caution, stay center! What are you doing, man? We've decoded the intel from the First Order spy, and it confirms the best. Somehow, Hun Lu returned. Do we believe this? It can't be! The RX-7 exploded! Dark science, cloning, secrets only the family knew. Today, Clarkson breaks his neck in the GTR prototype. James bugs the dev team for a Dacia Sendero. And Hammond vents some frustration. Today, Clarkson takes one in the plums. James makes a sandwich with... And Hammond shares his opinion on Coco Melon. Ravenwest have sent over this tape for Darius's introduction. Had to dust off the old VCR. Guess these guys have never heard of an MP4, let alone a CD. But let's see what we've got here, shall we? What? Oh, no, they just reused his stacked deck footage from his run in Palmont City. Look, they just plastered her logo on top. Recycled content. What lazy prick edited this? Alright, we're done here. Darius, ladies and gents, he wears red and thinks he's better than you. Round of applause for him, please. Cunt. I think I spotted the odd one out, folks. The rest of Ravenwest seem like... gee, how do I put this kindly? Right proper billins. But Lando looks like he'd be a solid mate to go grab a drink down the Oh, God, what is he doing? Oh, never mind the drink part. Fucking hell. Well, you took out all the rookies. Oh, la-di-da, but you think it's all sunshine and rainbows from here with a big old bunt cake soaked in the rum waiting for you to finish. I certainly hope so, but you, my friend, are going to need to put in the work because this is where things start to get serious. At Ricey Riders, only the best tuners will make it through the weekend, and you're in good company. Turbocharged JDMs, European hot hatches with more horsepower than your wee mind can comprehend, muscle cars with more juice than the Liver King. So lad, I suggest you'll leave your shit box in the garage and get something a wee more appropriate for the occasion. If you put your foot down and give it your all, I reckon you might just have a chance of making it here. You've earned this shot. Don't waste it. Well, you took out all the rookies. Oh, la-di-da, but you think it's all sunshine and rainbows from here with a big old bunt cake soaked in the rum waiting for you to finish. I certainly hope so. But you, my friend, are going to need to put in the work because this is where things start to get serious. At Ricey Riders, only the best tuners will make it through the weekend, and you're in good company. Turbocharged JDMs, European hot hatches with more horsepower than your wee mind can comprehend, muscle cars with more get up and go than your father leaving for milk and cigarettes. So lad, I suggest you leave your shit box in the garage and get something a wee more appropriate for the occasion. If you put your foot down and give it your all, I reckon you might just have a chance of making it here. You've earned this shot. Don't waste it.